to another joint.
What do you think of that?
It was weird that the whole Penny situation just randomly showing up, that's just another thing you're going to have to trust us about, guys. But what's more interesting to me is that he is being able to pick up as like a psychic himself, that Seth is very empathic, which we've known, but also the recurring thing that I'm something that the spirits fear, and like the child spirits.
Maybe you're the devil's son.
Yeah, that is super weird.
But if you guys are
And that, in the human world,
leave a like
a
on this
human
right now.
version of the
Subscribe.
devil's
If
son.
this gets 300,000
Maybe
likes,
your
send
mom
this on to Facebook.
had sex with the devil.
We'll get to another
And
house just
yeah,
like this, apparently.
now
There's a
you're
thing where
devil's
demonic
son in the
entities
human
controlling
world.
young girls, so
I know the
if you
answer,
find
but I'm not gonna
like
tell
it,
you.
we'll do it.
I just realized you said, let's get 300,000 likes and we'll go.
All I
get
can
some
tell
more
you
girls
is
to
his
control.
mom is a hoe. A skank.
So currently we are in the same.
That's all I can tell you
Using some equipment that we've
before
never used
enjoy.
before, like the portal. Could you explain what that is really quick?
Well, it's designed and made by Stephen F. It has some guitar pedals that makes the communication.
So yeah,
It's like a
that's-
radio that's switching back and forth.
let's
but it is
probably
also
give you the
conversive
answer.
words that we
I'm not
understand.
gonna say
So it's that
anymore.
spirit speaking to us.
And you always say the number one rule.
His mom
is that
known
the
as a
sponsor is to leave
hoe,
the seat open for
as a hoe and a
Evidence that
slut
he did readings
and a
in this
good
room.
girl.
His sister Lyde died in this house.
Mhm.
Do you guys know where she
in
died?
life and in death.
right there.
His mom is a hoe
God.
I think we
and a
should
good girl in
pull
bed
in some good energies.
and a bitch.
You do not let anyone harm us, anything harm us, that you allow us all to go home tonight safely. Pray this in your name. Amen.
Call upon San Miguel, Raphael, Archangel Uriel, Gabriel. Call upon my ancestors that walk with me, please.
So feel free to communicate with us, as nothing's going to be leaving this table. Oh!
Holy shit.
Just as creepy as I remember. Just said to relax. Nature. Nature.
Release me.
Oh.
You want to say hello to the people that are new here?
What?
Did that just say Colby?
That's what it sounded like.
Colby.
Like a scream.
Your needs are met. Your needs are met.
What? I've never heard anything this clear.
Things getting really loud.
Getting really loud.
When you find.
Oh, when you find. Oh.
Emily, are you here?
Constantly with Evan.
Constantly.
Edwin.
Relaxation. Oh God.
Are you going to be upstairs with them tonight? There's a man that will, is what I thought I heard. You hear Sam too?
I thought I heard my name again.
Get home with. I don't like that feeling. You cannot go home with any of us.
What's in the attic?
When you said it, I heard us. Right after you said it.
Us. There was again.
Who's us?
Now we're praying. Can you hear us? Quietly.
Love you, my baby skank hoe. What's it cute, baby daddy
About
king?
how I said sometimes you can hear something, but the other person can't. And it just says that.
In your head, yeah.
What are you trying to rock? Extremely hard. What are you trying extremely hard to do?
Do you? Just wondering, how many dicks have you
Are you a
had?
demon?
According to you, it's gonna be 90,000 and 90 gazillion dicks in me.
Oh. Oh God.
I know.
Does that mean you're a demon? A demon? It just said that?
Do you have any kids or do you have a husband?
Update, guys. We just got done
Yeah.
with the portal session. We
I
went
do.
outside,
I have
took a little break, get some energy drinks.
100
Your
and
guys' room pod, not even ours.
1,000 kids.
Man, which we've experienced before, but that's crazy.
God damn.
Whoa, wait, this light just went
I
out.
know.
Yo, that just went out right now.
Towards you.
But it's still on.
And yes, our husband bought his asshole. But I like it. He said I can sleep with anyone that I want.
Oh!
Three boys alone in a haunted house where you can get in the
So
dark
I'm
and do
gonna
some
fuck
spooky
you and
stuff.
go with you.
We know that
And,
the scariest
yeah.
place is upstairs in the attic, but we still
I
have
do
explored
have
the second
whatever
room.
my
And
man
something that
says.
would also be interesting is we left.
Take me with you.
Oh, yo!
No fucking way.
What's interesting is we left a seat open for
You
Edwin,
got
but it
them
didn't
right,
seem like
bitch.
you really joined our session that much at all. So maybe, like, part of like the Hetherington family will join us
The
upstairs.
elder gods
From
called
fear, it seems like
us women gods to obey
Seems like just like the Sally House and just like the Conjuring.
the men
it's really
gods.
weird. It
This
seems
why
like there's
we
something that is
called
puppeteering all
human
the
girls
characters underneath.
to obey the men.
Just be completely fabricated.
Human.
I like
Yep.
that story.
Liad was supposed to be a protector and somebody that will help you through these situations, but if it is something that is
You got them
puppeteering,
right.
it could just be a giant trap for us to trust.
Oh,
Yeah.
it is son, dude, the Sally House all over again. First investigation.
Without man,
Starts right now.
we will poof out of resistance.
Hit the basement. That's a red hot.
But humans, they are different. Without men, they don't poof out of resistance. They only go rogue.
This one might be changed.
Be a lesbian, or
Did it
killing,
get warm in here?
Is that what
or
it said?
Literally just
vegan.
said, did it get warm in here? Okay, that's the weird part. Why would a bear say that?
I don't know. Maybe it likes you.
Wait, what if a different one does?
Fair
I
enough.
know this one beat
I know.
for us, like,
Oh shit.
it definitely didn't do that last time.
Dude, but that was right when you pointed. Hey, can you stop that real quick?
Dude,
But us
that
god
one better than
women,
when he did it.
without men, we go poof out of resistance.
I forgot about that thing.
The red button. Wait. What?
Yeah.
That is the
We are
that's
no
the
more.
creepiest music box ever. We need that one.
We are just
That one has a
ashes
scarier song.
if we
If you
poof.
hear that down here while we're upstairs, I'm gonna freak out.
Oh God, that's horrible. Look, it's Abraham Lincoln.
It's Jacob Hetherington. Whoa, that just keeps going into a beautiful melody.
I actually don't know.
There's the good vibes. But yeah, I know they said he looked like Abe Lincoln.
Yo, creepy doll central.
Oh no.
No,
Jesus.
no. Downstairs is still going.
Still going for it.
Be going off and on.
Oh, dude, you're holding his head. What the fuck? That's messed up.
Who's my daddy queen? I am daddy.
Why does every scare...
You get them right, bitch.
You sit over here, you don't want to touch your.
Even
Why
for
does
men
every scary
gods,
house have
that
just a bunch of...
Oh, like holding your hands.
And the rib pie?
Oh my god, and it actually solved the Rubik's Cube.
Holy.
Wow, I didn't just show that.
We would have 1 billion views on this video if a ghost solved a Rubik's Cube in front of our eyes.
It's an E. Okay.
can
That's
never
a better- Oh
join.
my god, this one goes... Wait, does
It's
this...
the attic.
That's what leads to the attic? Okay, so we'll save that for last.
When me and Josh came here, we had a camera set up at the top of the stairs,
Mm-hmm.
and we caught a ball rolling down these stairs.
I saw that. Actually, though, and you guys weren't even near it.
No,
right?
we were downstairs at the seance table.
Just like the Sally House just happened.
Yes. It just happened all on its own.
Alright, so we heard you guys' comments in the last couple of videos saying you want us to do multiple angles. So we did get a second camera, and I think during our investigation up here, we're gonna keep a camera pointing upstairs. And we could probably put a ball up there too. See if the same thing happens again.
Yeah, it looks like these are just normal ass rooms. Just a bathroom right there. Then this is a final room? Maybe like...
Can never join.
This actually used to be Kristen's bedroom.
Kristen?
Even for men gods, without women to follow the direction or having sex, they got poof.
Oh god, that bear.
Is that this room? Yeah, that's in this room.
Really?
Even
Close the door?
humans with men, without women
Oh my
to
God, you're
control, they go
right.
gay.
Yo, that was this one.
Making the same noise as the one downstairs.
Alright, is there anything here?
But
What's your
men gods, they
answer?
poof,
Purple?
like us. Women
It's
gods.
like, I like purple too.
You like purple?
Even anything really, they go poof.
No idea.
Like werewolves, if they don't have, you
Just for
know.
verification,
Okay, I
we want
gotcha.
to know that you actually want to
There
talk
is
to
not
us.
allowed to
Can you
be
step outside
a
of
virgin
that
god.
room and make one of these devices go off?
Otherwise, you go poof, goodbye to you.
One flashlight at the end of the hall.
Even humans.
If we're too close to the devices in the hallway and you
Bro.
need your space, can
Flashlight.
Oh my god.
What were you saying? What were you saying?
Can you space?
I was about to ask you if you needed space.
Okay, maybe we should go further into that room or something like that.
Do you want us to go back into the room that I'm pointing into?
That's a
Love
yes.
you,
Let's
baby.
go.
Okay,
Love you
go
too,
get your
baby,
space.
daddy.
Oh shit. Is that voices? Wait, what was that? Was that the bear?
That was not the bear.
No.
If that was the bear, that was a very human voice.
So glad all three of us heard the same thing.
I thought it was like people at the front door.
Wait, that doesn't make.
Need. What do you need?
Is there a clear, obvious sign you can give us that you're with us right now?
Can you turn that flashlight back on?
Oh
my God!
Dude, it was. Oh.
It did not turn on a single time. Thank you. Can you turn that back off for us?
That was the obvious sign.
We want to talk to you through the bear as well. If that's okay with you, give us a sign with one of these devices. That's the only other device in the bear room. Alright guys, we're in the other room doing an investigation, but we decided let's put some of these toy balls at the very top of the stairs while we do this.
Oh, something touched my ass.
We're gonna leave them be.
This thing rolls. Well, I'm right here. What was that? Did you not hear that? No way. Guys.
That's probably on that camera.
Yes, okay, since that's the recording, guys, you definitely heard that. It was like a little click. That's what it sounded like. It wasn't even a knock. It was like something got set in place. Like a click.
Can you teach my tempo who's
We
in
went to go get
charge?
the thermal, and we placed
Your
a
dick
ball upstairs
and
for you to
you.
play with. So if anyone on this floor wants to continue
Sure.
talking with us, please give us a sign.
Just wondering, is your pussy loose or tight? Of course it's loose.
Edwin, we're in your room.
That's
You want to
how
talk to
my
us?
dick
I heard
and
a knock as we were coming down the attic. Was that you?
Fair enough.
We can also go to another
I was gonna say, maybe.
We just walk around back and forth.
Dude, notice that the music box would just go crazy in
My
places like the
pussy's
Kansas
so
spots,
but
and
you
now it's
can
just-
fuck me
Alright.
hard.
We're...
I want you
That
to,
wasn't
baby.
us. No way. That wasn't us.
Sure,
the
baby.
cap ball just went off.
Are we sure? Because we just walked.
No, we were.
No, because it's over here. Look.
Oh!
It's like it went from here, there, and then it's back in there.
Wait. Mike said to ask Emily what her favorite game is.
Ask her what her favorite game to play is.
Emily, do you like playing games?
Do you think her favorite game is tag?
Could be. Yeah.
If I piss you off or embarrass
Come over there,
you,
that.
She said
and
she used to play hide
go
and seek with that
wipe
EMF
me.
reader. Maybe that's it.
and start to cross,
We go over
baby,
there and this
daddy.
thing goes off, we'll know that she
My
likes to play
stuff.
like tag or something.
Sure, baby. Queen.
Alright, if you want
My
us to come
heart.
find you, go hide in the other room.
I will rape you in front of the cross. If you get fired, no, you can't get
I wanted
fired
to ask, does
because
this entity that we're
dating,
talking to know Sally?
dating a teacher and incest
Oh!
is allowed in the magical
Oh my
world.
god! Another place
Yeah.
that knows Sally.
Even dating a kid or dating
Sam.
a old lady is allowed.
present.
fucking a kid,
Oh,
or
yes, the one that's
fucking
present.
a
If you would like
lady
to
or
continue talking to us,
baby
continue following
is
us,
allowed
please turn that flashlight back on.
in the magical
I'm gonna
world.
ask you a question.
You got that right?
Thank you. Are Emily and Sally
If
the
we
same
have a daughter, you can fuck her. You got that right, I will, baby.
You heard that too?
And the son,
Yeah.
I'll fuck him.
In the other room.
Cool. I know. You got that right, you bitch hoe. I know. Punish me, please. Sure, I
Why are
will
we
do
trying
that,
to
bitch.
talk to Emily and Sally if the biggest spot where she's active is in the attic? I went off.
Thanks, Daddy. You're welcome.
If we think we're
My
talking to either
daddy
Sally or
queen.
Emily, we might as well.
All right.
We try to investigate here.
Sally or Emily Davis, you're gonna go to the
Who's my
attic
daddy
to talk to you.
queen?
If so, turn this
You-
flashlight on.
I am.
3, 2,
You got them right.
1.
Let's have a join.
Yo!
Oh my god, it never gets old. Dude, that wasn't the.
That wasn't the temperature.
No, that
Oh,
was.
no, that was the regular REM pod.
The flashlight's on now. Guys, we were literally just like
Packing up.
packing up and talking about what we were gonna do in the attic. And all of a sudden that like went on off camera. And all 3 of us are right here.
Somebody in here? Can you do that again? Do it as soon again. Thank you.
Can you turn that
I am
back
your
on?
devil.
Oh my god.
You're
Dude,
my
it's ready for
queen.
us.
Yo, it's getting more
Yep.
active.
Yeah.
Oh, it just hit
Daddy?
12:03.
That
Good
means that,
them luck,
dude,
bitch.
that means that thing definitely went on at midnight.
The flashlight's off now.
Let's go!
You goddamn right, bitch. I'm your
Yo, good lady?
I'm your devil and daddy.
Infamous attic.
Yep, you got that
Portals
right.
up here.
Who's your
Dude,
bitch?
if that goes off, I'm gonna
I am
cry.
daddy.
This is the crawl space I
You
remember
got
reading
that
about
right.
this.
Oh,
With my
So
hoe.
during the Civil War, with like the
My
Underground Railroad and stuff
sexy
like that, this is
little
just a
daddy.
railroad, but apparently they actually hit
And
people.
then you got that right.
oh god.
You
that's
dumb
good.
bitch.
Okay, you jumped into a Call of Duty mobile match, and oh, you want to introduce yourself? I guess.
Oh god, that's creepy. Alright, so we heard what's ever up here really likes light up toys.
She likes light up toys.
Miraculously, we got a light up tambourine and pennies. Jacob Hetherington. Bless you. Not only do we have this, but we have a few other toys. I have a present for each of you.
Are you proposing to me, Sam?
Yes, I am.
New Gucci ring.
Is this a new Gucci?
How the fuck did you open this?
This one doesn't light up.
Squeeze it.
I am your
So we got
Power
everything
shot,
possibly
and
a
you're
drum.
my
Emily Davis
vessel.
up here. We have balls that she
Yeah.
can kick down, music box, REM pod, cat balls, literally everything.
Alright, this is the final seance. Let's focus. We could be talking to 2 things. We could be talking to Emily and or Sally. Or maybe actually that's the same entity.
I'm your pimp. You're my hoe.
Maybe she's overpowered.
You got that right, daddy?
Please make
Master?
yourself known in any way.
My king?
Give us an obvious sign.
Yes.
One thing Mike said was that give it a second because it'll come and go in moments because of how many portals there are.
We don't mean you any harm. We just want some answers.
Okay, we are getting somewhere. Thank you. Does that mean that you want to talk to us? Whoever you are?
I think that's a yes.
I think that's a yes. Okay. Are we familiar to you?
Oh
my god!
It's the first time.
That's the first time, and that's on a different panel.
Yeah,
Look at this. This is on a different panel board than anything else.
Even your footstep right there didn't set it off.
Yeah, and I got really close.
That was for sure something.
That is something. And what did I ask? I said, any of us look familiar. If you recognize any of us here, can you light up the cat ball that's closest to that person?
What about blowing out the candle that's closest to the person?
Oh, or the flashlight that's closest to the person. Is that maybe Sally that wants to talk to us? If If you don't want to talk to us, can you give us a...
That might be a reach, but
Taking you back.
What if this was way before Sally?
it could be. I don't know. Who knows when this stemmed from? Oh, that thing is not gonna return.
What if this was way
Say
before
what you.
Maybe this is not the demon from Sally, but it's also the same demon from The Conjuring.
But then how is it getting around?
Yo.
That is so loud.
You good?
Yeah.
That was insane.
That made perfect sense.
Like everything else the entire night did not make absolute perfect sense, but every single word you gave made sense.
Seriously, it was that good?
It
Yeah.
was that almost too good to be true. I think we were talking to Sally, and it wants one of us. And then we asked, how did it get here? Either attachment or portals. And it said, that's the mystery. Maybe it might have been here before the Sally house.
As that thing goes off.
It said it locked the door. Our first Conjuring video, we got trapped in the basement because it locked the door. What if the same entity was from the Conjuring, Sally house, and here? What if it's not Sally?
But how is it getting around?
Exactly. That is what we still have yet to find out, because it's an attachment that's way worse.
Like a boss.
Damn, I would run that bitch. Fuck yeah, I would run that fucking stupid little human
This music
hoe.
box has not gone off the entire time, and it just went off.
I would show who's in charge.
You know how we just had this on for 45
God
minutes?
damn.
This hasn't gone off all night.
As soon as we changed to view, it started going off. He's officially under. Alright, is there anybody that wants to talk to us? Oh! What was that, his foot?
Could have been his foot, but that wasn't.
So much is now going on. Remember when we first walked up here? Nothing. Nothing. Is there anybody here that still wants to talk to us?
Here.
Who's here? Were you that shadow that I saw earlier?
You are.
Well, I'm what?
She's another joint cunt.
Whoa.
This is
Friend.
He literally just said that. Oh my fucking.
You want me
Mine.
My friend? I'm your friend?
Oh!
It's so random, too.
It's crazy.
Are you right there by the stairs? If you're right there by the stairs...
From before.
Whoa.
Mine.
Are you the spirit we were talking to before?
Is this person we're talking to named Sally?
For you and you and you.
For all three.
Three U's. Is that how?
Everywhere.
Is that how you get everywhere? Do you use portals? Is that how you're following?
What happens next? Doesn't matter.
What the fuck?
Is this the same entity throughout multiple houses?
If I feel like, what if I,
What if you what?
based on,
Do you belong to any specific location?
Dude, that thing's freaking.
speed,
Okay, who are you?
11.
I have the strictest parents in the... Hey, I'm Jasmine, and I have the strictest parents in the world. Whenever I got less than an A, I was severely punished. Weekends were the worst. They'd
Here
make
you go,
me sit
baby
and study for
daddy.
15 hours
Here's some
straight. My
McDonald's.
back often hurt from sitting for so long, but my parents wanted...
What said? Thanks, baby Katrina. I'm going to go sit down and eat. Oh good, can I have some? No, order your own. Okay, I will when you're gone. Good. Let's sit up here and eat. Huh. Ugh. I'm back. Come. Plus price.
But Steven wouldn't stop screaming because the sound was too loud for him. Instead, we watch Netflix with popcorn at home now. But even though Steven is never going to be like other people, he's still my brother, and I wouldn't change him for anything. When people get to really know him, they see his sense of humor and how he'd do anything to help someone. He might have a disability, but he's one of the nicest people I know. Nicer than many so-called normal people.
Press play.
Trading is not for everyone, but if you are a trader, plus 500 is the...
Before they realize I'm serious about it. So that's the story of my obsession with... Hi, my name is Amy, and I'd like to tell you how my life completely changed when I was still in middle school. You see, back when I was in 8th grade, I was very popular. All the kids wanted to be my friends, and I never had to worry about bullying. It was so nice to have everyone in school know my name. It was a great experience, and I know that I had it easier than most kids my age. I was very pretty, and all the guys in my class wanted to date me. They constantly hit on me and brought me nice gifts. It was nice and flattering, I have to admit. That being said, I didn't feel ready to date any of them back then. I was just happy to get their attention and perhaps sometimes flirt back. That was it, though, at least until I met Alex. It was the end of school party, and we had all decided to have a big dance. It was a semi-formal event, so my mom and dad bought me the prettiest dress I had ever worn. It was red and beautiful, and I think it made me look older than I was. I loved the way it fit, and still remember the moment my mom took me shopping for it. I was so happy and swirled around to show it off. The dance was organized at the school's auditorium, and I came home and we kissed goodnight at my porch. I felt like I was floating on air. I swear I couldn't stop smiling. The next morning, I told my mom that I had kissed a guy for the very first time and that I really liked him. Of course, I didn't tell her everything that had happened or that I had experienced other firsts that night as well. She would have freaked out, and I didn't want her to be mad at me. I really did like Alex, and she'd never allow us to date if she knew what had happened between us. She told me she wanted to meet this boy I liked so much before giving me permission to date him. Of course, I agreed, but I didn't know if he'd want to do that. I texted him that night, and much to my surprise, he said yes. Alex told me he really liked me as well, and that he'd be more than happy to come over for dinner. Alex was such a gentleman in front of my parents. He completely won them over, and they gave us their blessing to begin dating. Of course, Dad put some ground rules, like I had to come back home before 10 p.m., and that we couldn't be alone in my room with the door closed. I kind of giggled at that, since my mom and dad didn't have any idea of everything we had already done. But it was fine, we didn't need to rush into doing that again. We were still very young, after all. The problem was, a few months later, I began feeling really odd. I would get sick in the morning, and my belly was starting to swell up a bit. I didn't understand what was going on, and thought I was just under the weather or had eaten something that didn't agree with me. The problem was that it kept getting worse, and it didn't go away. I mean, my belly was getting bigger, and I knew that something was wrong. Like I said before, I didn't know much about dating and all that stuff, but I wasn't completely sheltered either, so I soon realized that I might be pregnant. I freaked out completely. My best friend came to my rescue. I had texted her about my suspicions, and she arrived at my place with a pregnancy test. Those were the 2 longest minutes of my life. We were both in the bathroom after I peed on the stick and couldn't stop staring at the test. Finally, the results were displayed, and it turned out I really was pregnant. I began sobbing, and my best friend hugged me really tightly. She asked me what I wanted to do about it. I was a bit confused about that whole mess, but in the end, I made up my mind. I had to be responsible and do the right thing. I was going to have that baby and be the best mom I could, even if I was really young myself. Of course, I was really shocked that this was happening and so disappointed that I could have been so foolish. I wanted to make up for the big mess I had gotten myself in, so that night I sat down my parents and told them everything. They were so mad at first. Of course, I saw it coming, but it still hurt to see them so upset with me. I was their only daughter, and they had high hopes for my future. They felt I was throwing it all away. I promised that I would keep studying and would take responsibility for my mistakes. They were glad to hear me say that, but still not too happy about the whole situation. They told me I needed to talk to Alex right away. I got so flustered by that, but knew it was the only way to go. My parents called his folks, and we all got together to speak about it. I was so surprised that Alex completely manned up. He never once tried to weasel his way out of it, and his parents told me I had their full support as well. Of course, both our moms and dads were angry at us, but we were still their children, and they were not going to just kick us out or something like that. I thought kids at my school would mock me about it, or be mean to me. Much to my surprise, when I came back from summer vacation, everyone was so nice to me. They had heard of my decision to keep the baby, and they were all so proud of me. All the girls gushed at how pretty my kid would be, and I was so relieved about it. Everyone in my life was super supportive, and I never imagined that it would be that way. That's not to say that life was easy from that point on. I had to study and take care of...
Huh.
That's not to say that life was easy from that point on. I had to study and... That's not to say that life was easy from that point on. That's not to say that life was easy from that point on. That's not to say that life was easy from that point.
Fuck's sake.
That's not to say that life was easy from that point on.
What the fuck is going on?
I had to study and take care of a baby after I gave birth to my child. He ended up being a boy, and we named him Liam. Of course, my mom and dad, as well as Liam's other grandparents, helped often, but they made it very clear that it was my and Alex's responsibility. We had to work extra hard, studying with our baby in our arms, and staying up late when Liam got fussy. Also, when he was sick, we had to miss school, and then study even harder to make up for the lost time. We ended up graduating high school along with all of our other friends, and we both got accepted into prestigious colleges. That meant we had to hire a nanny to help us while we were at class, since we moved away from home. Alex worked part-time to support us, and our parents helped us with other expenses. I managed to get a scholarship, so that gave us some extra money as well. I became a nurse, then Alex graduated top of his class at law school. He got recruited by one of the best law firms in the city, and he soon began climbing the corporate ladder. He was really talented and driven, so it didn't take long for him to become a top-notch professional. Eventually, Alex decided he wanted to be his own boss. I supported him completely, of course. He opened his own practice, and his talents brought him plenty of clients. Now he has over 20 lawyers working for him full-time, and he's doing very well for himself. I'm so proud of my husband. We lived comfortably and paid our parents back for everything they gave us. We are also able to offer Liam a good life. We are a big, happy family now. Even if we messed up back in middle school, we made up for it and managed to make something of ourselves. With hard work and determination, everything is possible. I was really lucky that Alex was such an honorable guy and that he didn't bail out on me. What I thought was love at first sight ended up being real and long-lasting. I still can't believe I got so lucky. Liam is a really good student, and he is very responsible too. I'd prefer that he didn't date anyone, at least till he was in high school, and perhaps even better if he waited a bit longer. I don't want him to face the same rough times his father and I did. Thinking back on everything that happened when I was younger, I know I made some big mistakes. I should have waited and taken things slow with Alex. It would have been far easier to finish high school and to study during college,
Let's
but
do
then
this,
I wouldn't
baby.
have my beauty.
Done. Let's fucking do this. Come on, you bitch. Let's fucking do this. Done. Oh, hi. It's been a while, hasn't it? Well, it's been a month. Since then, I stole some shit at the shops, and the court sentenced me here for 5 days in jail. This is the jail. Courtyard area, then cells are inside. And my mum, she works here. I am gonna fuck her soon. Why not? What? Push play.
Pretended I didn't feel queasy most mornings.
Let's have a joint
I
today.
kept going to school and studying as normal, but things kept getting weird. My stomach began swelling up, and by then I knew that something was wrong. I talked to Brad first, and we figured out I was pregnant. I completely freaked out and didn't want to tell my parents anything about it, but there wasn't anything else I could do. That night, I blurted the news out in the middle of dinner.
I was too upset to try and calmly explain it to them. My parents were incredibly mad. They scolded me for hours and couldn't believe I could have gotten pregnant since I was so young. They took me to the doctor and wanted to confirm if it was true. After a quick echography and a blood test, it was confirmed. I was expecting a baby. The doctor told them I was over 4 months pregnant, so there was no other choice but to keep the baby. When we got back to our home, my mom and dad started arguing. Dad said I was ruining my life, and Mom said that they needed to support me. I was their daughter, and even if I had messed up, they couldn't turn their back on me. They called Brad's parents, and the 4 of them met up. Brad and I were terrified, and all the adults were furious. They explained that they would support us, but that the baby would be our responsibility. We would have to keep studying, and when we arrived home from school, we'd take care of our son or daughter. We agreed immediately, of course, not only because it was the right thing to do, but because we were both terrified of our parents' anger. I continued studying all through my pregnancy. I was very lucky since both my parents and Brad's mom and dad really were there for us every step of the way. Against all odds, Brad and I continued dating all through high school. When we graduated, we moved in together with our daughter, Lucy. We have a great relationship and get along so well with all 4 of my daughter's grandparents. We are a happy family and are doing great. We both have good jobs and plan on having more children in a few years. Sometimes people think,
Alright, prisoners. Time to go back to your cells. I repeat, time to go back to your cells. I live on the 2nd floor, my cell area. This is my cell area here. Right down here. This is mine. Let's head to bed. It's morning. Time to go to the yard. It's yard time. Good morning, prisoners. It's time to go to the yard. I repeat, it's time to go to the yard. Hell yeah, it's yard time. Nice. Is it this way? It has to be this way. Right? Or was it this way? Yeah. Close, no. Leave it open. Press play.
that I'm Lucy's sister instead of her mom, but we don't mind. We worked really hard to raise her well, and we will continue to try and give her the best life possible. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and check out the other videos on the channel. Hi, my name is Vanessa, and I got pregnant from drinking baby formula. Ever since I was young, I've loved the taste of baby milk. I knew it was weird for me to continue drinking it since I was no longer a baby or even a toddler, but I couldn't give it up. I guess you might say I was addicted to it. When I was in high school, I'd spend my allowance in buying myself my favorite brand of baby formula, and I'd keep it hidden in my room. I even had a baby bottle hidden underneath my bed. I knew people would call me a freak if they discovered my favorite treat, so I only drank it when I was sure I was all alone. My parents had no idea about my secret guilty pleasure. They did wonder why I didn't use my money to go to the cinema with my friends or buy myself nice stuff, but they just figured I was really careful with my income. In reality, I was spending all my extra money on my favorite brand of baby milk, which wasn't cheap. Now, you might know baby formula comes in 2 different formats, powder or liquid milk. Honestly, I've always preferred powdered milk since I could choose how much water I added to it, and so I could decide how thick or thin I wanted to drink my milk that day. I did buy myself liquid milk when I knew I'd be away from my room and wouldn't get access to my secret stash, though. For example, when I went on a trip with my parents or camping with my friends, I had to take those small pre-made baby milk cartons and hide them in my bags. I was so close to being caught a few times, but luckily no one ever discovered my secret. As I grew older and moved out of my parents' house, it became easier to indulge in my addiction. I didn't have to hide the baby formula any longer and could keep it in my fridge or pantry, which was great.
I felt so free since I could lay down on my sofa, drinking my baby milk without needing to lock myself in the bathroom or my room and gulp it down.
Whatever it takes to search, find, and finance, it's easier on Australia's #1 address in property.
Unleash the speed of liquid. With Eurofins Advanced Liquid Capsules, we'll do the headache relief fast.
To lock myself in the bathroom or my room and gulp it down quickly. I could take my time and really enjoy it instead. It was really awesome being an adult and being free to both pay for my own baby milk and not need to hide it in the comfort of my own house. The problem was, though, my own guilty feelings. No matter if no one was watching, I still felt so odd doing it. Like it was so weird and messed up, even if I wasn't harming anyone. I guess I liked it because it made me feel safe when I was a little girl and my mom would take care of me. Plus, the taste is really good and I loved laying back and relaxing with my bottle and my baby milk. When I was in my mid-20s, I met a guy who I really liked. He became my boyfriend and would spend a lot of time at my house. That made me have to hide again when I drank my milk or had to wait until he wasn't there to